Okay, let's have a little bit of fun. Patrick Bet Davidson, or Paul Bet Davidson, or Patrick Bet David, or whatever the hell he's called, the PBD podcast boys. They're in Vegas. I think they probably heard that Vegas tourism is down, so they're out there doing their part to bring tourism back to Vegas, and they're doing their podcast from Vegas. Anyway, we got Patrick Bet David here, and he's made a little discovery. Apparently last week, Gallup did a poll on the most and least popular people in the political zeitgeist, and he is shocked to find that his favorite entrepreneur, Elon Musk, who he calls an operator, very capitalist coded speak, an operator. He's saddened to find that Elon Musk is the least popular person in this poll.
Story comes out, and Adam, I'm coming to you first on this one.
Ooh.
Elon Musk is officially the most unpopular public figure in America. Okay, if you want to go to it, Rob, on do you have a video on that or no?
I do.
I think you have a video on that. Let me read the story, and then we'll go to the video. So Elon Musk, richest man in the world, a Gallup poll conducted between July 7th and July 21st found that Tesla CEO Elon Musk is the most unpopular public figure in America, with 61% of respondents holding an unfavorable opinion, 6% having no opinion, and only 33% reporting a positive view, marking a decline from his net favorability rating of minus 4% in January.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that. Elon right there at the bottom, very bottom. He's even under Benjamin Netanyahu, who is probably, I don't know, it's a toss-up, but right now I'm leaning towards Bibi. Netanyahu is the worst person, but America has spoken.
It's 28% now. Dan, that's a plus minus of 24. Musk's unpopularity surpasses even Israel's Prime Minister Benton. Wow. He's ahead of Netanyahu? Where do you see that?
Right down here at the
I
bottom.
love the way he says that. He's ahead of Netanyahu. You know, it's like he is reading the poll upside down, and Elon Musk is the top as the most unpopular guy. He's at the top of the list, and he's ahead of Bibi Netanyahu. Or behind, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Glass half empty, half full, half unpopular, horrible human, whatevs.
Marco Rubio is ahead of Trump?
Jeez.
How?
I mean, what are we talking about here? Marco Rubio is ahead of Trump. No, he's behind Trump. If you're reading this graph the right way, Marco Rubio is less popular than Trump, which, by the way, that is kind of funny that Marco Rubio is less it looks like they have a tie for negative 16, but the favorability and unfavorability is a little bit different.
What the heck is
Dennis
that?
Pete Heck said Newsom, J.D. Vance, Joe Biden, RFK, AOC, Macron, Bernie, Zelensky, Pope, Leo. Very interesting when you see a list like this. And then Prime Minister on the other, Democrats giving him a minus 86 net favorability to return to alignment with President Trump. His role as a special government employee.
I mean, I love how he's just speed reading the reason why Americans find Elon Musk so abhorrent and have ranked him as the least popular person in America. He is just speed reading through this shit because he doesn't really want to give credence to the reasoning behind why he's so fucking unpopular.
Heading Doge. So, Adam, why do you think his net favorability is worse than Bibi, than Rubio, than Trump?
Well, be careful when you get into politics. Elon Musk, a few short years.
He's gonna give a nice little bit of an excuse as to the reason why he's so unpopular is because he waded into politics, and that's the reason why. I mean, maybe it's got to do with Doge and all of the carnage that he started at the very beginning of Donald Trump's term, but I'm going to skip ahead just a couple of minutes here because, I don't really need to hear Adam Sosnick spin a yarn of absolute horseshit. Patrick Bet David goes to his wonk, his political wonk, the guy that actually can read. Between Adam and Vinny, neither one of them do any reading. It's just all shooting off of the dome with their smooth brains of their ideas of why Elon Musk is so unpopular. So let's go to see what the wonk has to say. That's this guy right here. He's the political guy. He's the smart dude.
From a Kamala, Joe Biden, whatever the hell you want to talk about it, say what you want. They want to hate him. Do not forget, this guy put his money where his mouth is and saved us. For that moment in history, that guy saved us.
Also allowed freedom of speech on Twitter.
Dude, so I can't, I don't understand. How could he be
freedom of speech on Twitter, except for the people that he doesn't like, and then he takes away their freedom of speech. Remember back in 2024, I believe it was Ken Klippenstein had a report. On JD Vance, they did when they were vetting him for vice president, Republicans write up a report on the vetting process, and that got leaked to Ken Klippenstein, who is a reporter, and immediately when he released it, he was immediately banned by Elon Musk. So freedom of speech for fascists and Nazis and Alex Jones and what have you, but don't you dare report on things that I don't want you to report on, then I'll take away your freedom of speech. By the way, spend $8 a month to get your blue check on Twitter, and that's freedom of speech. You're paying $8 a month for your free speech. Whatever.
More than some of these others' names that Pat
Tom, where are
listed.
you at?
Well, in politics, no good deed will go unpunished. And he certainly was huge in the election.
The good deed of firing 250,000 federal workers, 80,000 of them were American veterans. Sure, man, no good deed goes unpunished. We're cutting off medical aid and food aid to countries in Africa, which they have estimated anywhere between 13 to 15 million people will die by 2030. But no good deed goes unpunished.
The Dems already hated him.
Of course.
The Dems already hated him. They were
actually the only people that were ever really buying Elon Musk's car was years and years ago when the Dems liked him, when Barack Obama invited him in and gave him his first government contract. And wealthy, well-to-do liberals were the people who bought his cars because they thought that we're saving the environment and, we're driving our electric cars. Those are the only people that bought them. Republicans never bought a fucking electric car, man. They don't, they roll coal, man. They don't buy electric cars. So Elon Musk coming in there doing all of his Doge bullshit pissed off the only people that were buying his goddamn cars. Republicans were never buying his cars. Now there's a contingent of, crazy Republicans that treat Elon Musk like he's a cult leader, just like Donald Trump. They called him the real life Tony Stark. He invents shit and he's a genius. Meanwhile, it's all fucking vaporware. I mean, everything from the quote unquote Hyperloop in Las Vegas, which is basically a tunnel that instead of having a train, he drove a car through. He said he was, he was going to do this in California. Shit never fucking happened, was never going to happen. He said that he was going to use the dirt that he used to excavate that tunnel in Las Vegas to build houses for homeless people. He never did that shit. Remember what he said? We were going to be on Mars in 10 years. That was like 17 years ago. That shit never happened. I mean, this driverless cars, he's been talking about that. This is going to come in the next 2 years. And then 2 years later, it's like, it's going to be in the next couple of years. We're getting it done. We're getting it done. None of the shit that he's said he was going to do, he's actually fucking done. None of it. And I saw his artist renderings for his driverless cars and his robots, and it was a direct ripoff of a 2004 Will Smith movie called I, Robot. He's literally ripping off a 20-year-old movie for his future dystopia that he says he's going to create, which, by the way, he never does because it's all fucking vaporware. But yeah, man, it was the Dems never liked him.
And Doge and everything about it, they were already all over Tesla. But then what happened? So now let's go to the poll. What's in the poll? Words talk, numbers scream. Screw the headlines. Let's dive into the numbers. You are already going to have a big negative polling difference, on the people that disapprove versus approve. You're being negative with the Dems. And then when you go up against Trump, what happened with 1/3 to 1/2 of the Republican voters?
Yep.
They went negative.
Exactly.
And so guess what? 2 negative and then 1 negative is 3 negative, and congratulations, you have a -28.
Oh, wow, man. 1 negative plus 2 negative equals -38. Let's take a look at the poll, okay? Y'all didn't get a chance to see it very well. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so favorable to unfavorable. The top of the list is the new Pope, Pope Leo. He is 41 points above water. That means that he is universally loved. Zelensky, who I just did a story on, he is in second place. He's 18 points over water because he is fighting desperately for his country against a foreign invader who happens to be Donald Trump's boy in Putin. The third on the list, 11 points over water, is Bernie Sanders. God, man, maybe we should have elected him in 2016. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Guy is universally loved in this country. He is usually at the top of the list as the most popular and trustworthy politician in America over and over and over again, year after year, poll after poll. But no, we can't have a fucking communist, socialist, Marxist, Leninist as president. So, you know, he remains hugely popular in America, the most popular politician that we have, yet we didn't elect him. Yet again, I digress. Emmanuel Macron is 1 point underwater. AOC is the next American politician, and she's 4 points underwater. I don't know why JFK is so, you know, he's -5, so he's underwater 5 points. I'm sure that that'll shift as measles grow and as more and more vaccines that he cancels. But we got at the bottom of the list. We got Elon Musk is the least popular, and Benjamin Netanyahu, Marco Rubio, Donald Trump, which, by the way, just blows my mind because none of these other people can do anything without the approval of Donald fucking Trump. But yet they always seem to blame everybody else but Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is 16 points underwater. So is Marco Rubio. Pete Hegseth, drunk ass Pete Keg's breath, is 12 points underwater. Gavin Newsom, greasy Gavin Newsom, is 11 points. J.D. Spence is 11 points, and Joe Biden is 11 points underwater. I don't even know why Joe Biden's on this list. He is not a political figure that is active anymore, but whatever. Joe Biden was pretty dog shit as president. He had a couple of things that he did that were okay, and then, you know, with Gaza, yeah, he kind of fucked that up. He definitely fucked that up. And he gave Donald Trump a fucked up situation in which he's fucking up even more. But even in this list, Joe Biden is less underwater than Donald Trump is. But anyway, you got a chance to take a look at the list. I love how Patrick Bet-David is like, you know, he just kind of skirts over the whole Bernie Sanders and AOC and Macron and Pope Leo and all that stuff. He just skirts over that because he's too busy being baffled that Elon Musk is. Why is Elon Musk hated so much?
The numbers are very simple. He went up against the hero of most of the Republican parties who wanted him in the White House, who wanted the change. This is what I voted for, including this man. That's what I was saying in April. I didn't give a very good grade based on execution, but I said, this is what I voted for. Closed borders, what I voted for. Driving international trade and being not America.
Driving international trade out of this country. Yeah, man, that's what he voted for. Closed borders, as if open borders was a thing under Joe Biden. He deported 4 million people. But yeah, man, we had open borders. Sure, whatever.
Only, but America first. That's what I voted for. Was it messy? Yes. And guess what?
It's still messy, dog.
Elon went up against some of that.
Yeah.
And so now the numbers show that he's highly negative.
Yeah. So to me, I think there's a complete different side of it as well when you're going through this. By the way, just so you know.
I'll get prepared for some Patrick Bet-David, you know, capitalistic philosophy bullshit. It's coming. It's coming like a wave.
If you're on this list, at least you're on this list.
Let's just start it off with some nonsense. Hey, no publicity is bad publicity. Even if people hate your guts, at least you made the list, man. That's what's important. Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't really seem to matter. You made the list. Man, you're in the zeitgeist. You're on the cutting edge, dog.
Period. Okay? So, folks, your name's not on this list for a reason. Most people's names are not on this list for a reason. This list also says influence. If you're on this list, loved or hated, favorable or unfavorable, the one score that they're not putting, it's also saying that these are some of the most influential people in the world.
Honey, it's not talking about their influence. It's talking about their favorability rating. Boy, let's take these lemons and make some lemonade, baby.
That's also what this says. This is influence. That comes with it. You're going to fumble, you're going to screw up, you're going to go through your mistakes. At times...
What about Joe Biden's mistakes? You going to give him a pass on those mistakes? No, probably not. Okay, all right. We'll see where he's going with this.
You know, you can also go through a certain thing. Remember, lost, Elon found, got a cause, he committed, lifestyle, graduate lifestyle, then it's...
Ooh, too much.
No, it's me.
Hockey
I'm just saying we all, so then maybe you think you're...
What? Bish what? Lost, found, committed? Is this part of my Patrick Bet David, 20 points to becoming a successful pyramid scheme owner? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm waiting for him to bring out that fucking chart again. The how are you feeling chart.
Bigger than Trump, and you're not. And the market said, look, you're very important. Very. Maybe he doesn't win without you. I would say that. He played a very important role. It definitely doesn't happen if he doesn't buy X. Because if he doesn't buy X and doesn't bring back Alex Jones, the Tates, the bunch of other people.
Oh my God, he's bringing back Alex Jones and the Tate brothers as a virtue? What are you talking about? Alex Jones, who had the school shooting victims' parents doxxed and haunted by Alex Jones fans for years. A guy committed suicide because he had to move so many times to get away from the Alex Jones sycophants that were chasing after him because he kept doxing them. And the Tate brothers, the just out in the open admitted to sex trafficking women in Romania, that guy, those guys, that's a positive for Elon Musk letting them back onto Twitter to spread propaganda that, hey, we're not that bad. Come on, man.
Who are loud, who are finally back on X. They got their voice back, and it's still being ran by the old guy, not Dorsey, the other Indian guy. I don't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, my God. Who says a brown man from Iran can't be racist? Let's go, man.
And there's still Twitter files going on. And then Facebook's forced to open up Trump. Instagram opens up Trump. YouTube no longer flags a lot of the stuff that we're saying. That doesn't happen.
YouTube doesn't say that we're spreading falsehoods anymore and allows us to, to spin our yarn of absolute horseshit. So freedom of speech, baby.
Without Elon.
I agree.
Very, very. And the day Elon was buying Twitter, I called every single bank to try to give $10 million to go in because I'm in on this guy being a great operator.
So you were willing to, did you give 10 million? Because if you gave 10 million to the purchase of X, you lost your 10 million. It means that you're not really good at investing money. If that was your idea, I have a feeling that he did not commit $10 million to help Elon Musk buy Twitter. I think the evaluation was $44 million when he bought it, and now it's worth like about $6. Yeah, man, you would have lost your shirt on that deal.
And I don't even remember, you guys, I talked about it on the podcast, October of 2022. I'm calling everybody, if you know, I want to give you $10 million. And the only person that was doing it was Kathy. What was the girl's name?
Kathy Wood from ARC.
Kathy Wood from ARC. That the way you were buying it was very weird, and I didn't want to get involved in that. So I'm a supporter and a believer in what he's doing as an operator, but at the same time, one man took bullets and almost died.
One man took bullets. He's not talking about the guy that got assassinated at Trump's speech in wherever it was, Baker, Pennsylvania. No, he's talking about Elon Musk taking bullets, man. He took some strays. Man down. Oh my God, it's carnage.
And one man at the age of 79 years old campaigned nonstop after going through everything that he went through since 2016 when Elon didn't support him. When Elon did say a lot of different things, and he fought, and they finally flipped. So it's very important to realize today it's his season. We're backstage yesterday with Suazo, Ellis, and Okafor and Hart. And I'm like, so what do you think about the event? He says, I believe this is we're back. I said, we're back to what? He says, this reminds me of 2019 when the late Kobe was there and, Bush and all this other stuff.
Boy, this guy turns on a dime, man. It's just one conversation to the next conversation. Anyway. Patrick Bet-David, he is shocked and chagrined that Elon Musk is unpopular as he is. I just gave you a couple of very good reasons. Doge did not make anybody happy. Anybody, especially the people that got fired. And the fact that the only people that were buying his shit-ass Nazi cars, his swastika cars, were at the time moderately well-off liberals who were trying to save the environment. And after he did his little Trump turn, the people that were left to buy his cars is relatively zero. Nobody's buying those damn things. He can't move those goddamn Cybertrucks off the lot. Nobody's buying them. The handful that are buying them really cheap. And by the way, every time I see one in New York, which is not very often, but every time I do, I flip them off. I do. Just makes me feel better because you're driving around in a Nazi car. I mean, Elon Musk is a fucking Nazi. Maybe that's got something to do with his popularity. He did 2 sieg heils on Inauguration Day. Yeah, I didn't forget about that. We all remember the sieg heils. He also was on Twitter saying that Jews are... He reposted this post that Jews are using black and brown people to do the... what is the propaganda name that they have for it, where they black and brown people, the great replacement theory. That's what it is. The great replacement theory, that the Jews are doing the great replacement theory. And then he reposted that saying, you have said the absolute truth. And then he got shit from the Jewish Defamation League. And then he had to go and do a little apology tour where he went to Auschwitz and, with Mark Zuckerberg. And, then he was forgiven by the ADL and everything was good. And then he bought Twitter and populated it yet again with all of his Nazi bros. And he is still full tilt fascist. He wants a techno-feudalist future, and he is constantly talking about how white people are being replaced in South Africa and here in America. And all of the fascist Nazi types out there, they're all on Twitter. What is it? That report came out recently that half of Twitter is bots and the other half is fascist. And Elon Musk is just happy as a pig in shit owning that monstrosity of a site that I avoid like the fucking plague. But, Maybe there's another reason why he's unpopular. Oh, he got involved in government. Maybe that's what it is. He spent $270 million getting the president elected. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe all the firings that he did with Doge and the fact that he shut down half of the Social Security offices in this country, and it made it impossible for older people to make phone calls to the Social Security office. Now they got to go down there if they have a problem. But oh yeah, your Social Security office is closed down, so you're going to have to drive a couple hours away to another Social Security office and stand in line there. Government, it's all waste, fraud, and abuse. We got to get rid of that shit. Let's take away medication and food from hungry people in Africa. Let them starve, and millions of people will die because of that. Maybe it's got something to do with that. Maybe it's just got to do with the fact that Elon Musk is a loser, he's a fascist, and he's just got a shitload of money in government contracts. Maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. There's a myriad of reasons why Elon Musk is unpopular. I still don't know if he's worse than Benjamin Netanyahu, who is actively doing a genocide. I guess we can count the bodies later on and find out how many dead, for each one, and then we can make a judgment call there. But according to Americans, according to this Gallup poll, Elon Musk is the most popular person in America. And let's not forget who the most popular politician in America is and remains is Bernie fucking Sanders. So anyway, that's the show for the day, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. All of the bad news that's fit to print. Anyway, if you did like it and you enjoy what I bring to you, if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I would really appreciate that. I will sing your praises and I will dance at your wedding. Not naughty, fully clothed, but I will dance. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will catch you next time. You take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.